Hey y'all, it's your girl S.E.T.ORACLE, the Universal Donor, and I would like to welcome you back to Stiletto Empress Tarot Oracle, S.E.T.ORACLE. Welcome to the set. What set? Full set. All 10 nails, baby. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. I have passed my little goal threshold of 15 subscribers on this page. I think I probably got like 17. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here with me, because every victory, big or small, is still a victory nonetheless. A win is a win, and the more people I can get the messages out to, the better I feel, and I hope the better you feel too. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna go with the detail deck. In case you're not familiar with what the detail deck is, these are the details. This is the big picture deck. So let's just see what the big picture deck has on the bottom. 2035, total chakra alignment. Take a step back, reevaluate your priorities, find balance in all areas of life. Authenticity is the new currency. Yes, get aligned with yourself. Be real with yourself. You know, fix your relationships. Fix your relationship with self first. Love yourself so that way you can love others. Forgive yourself, that way you can forgive others. You know, stop lying to yourself so you can stop lying to others. All right, in the detailed deck, these cards come out any which way. It's a lot of cards, so, you know, trying to turn them all can be a bit much. But it is a collective read. All signs included. I ask Father God, the Most High, ancestors, angels, and demons of light, please grant the collective the serenity to accept the things that they cannot change, the courage to change the things that they can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Chakras, prude. So somebody's probably pretending that they're aligned. Like we said, total chakra realignment, authenticity is the new currency. Somebody could possibly pretending to be aligned, or somebody is aligned and is in the dark about some type of sexual activities, or somebody is aligned and people want to unalign them by claiming that their sacral chakra is not. And people are probably shocked by this information, this lie. So we got ropes. So somebody was trying to tie something. There's a knot in there. You know, somebody wanted to stay tied to something. Somebody is tied to something. Access. Somebody wanted to stay tied to somebody for access. Access to what? 7+ years. So this has been going on for a while. Somebody has been trying to stay connected to somebody for some years to gain access to something. But what exactly? Emotional balance. So somebody's unstable. Somebody's unstable, and for the last 7 years, they've been trying to stay tied to somebody to gain access to making them just like them. Somebody's been trying to have somebody else emotionally unstable, and they've been trying to do this for a very long time. What's this, ropes? Pictures. Proof, physical evidence, personal encounters. Now, pictures came out of reverse. But they're bound to this. They are chained. They tried to be tied to you to have you emotionally unstable and imbalanced. But they are chained to this evidence that that is who they are. There's proof. There's physical evidence. People have had personal encounters with this person and know that they are emotionally unhinged. And there's proof of them trying to antagonize you so you would be just like them. What's access? Just one more lick. SOS, abort mission, wrong way. They should have left it alone. They should have left it alone. They should have stopped playing this game. But they couldn't help themselves. They should have left it alone. And they've been trying to do this for a very long time when they should have just left it alone. There's proof of this. There's proof that they cannot get out of. There's pictures. People know. Other people know. Other people know. And they just kept going and going. But they had warnings. They had warnings that they were going the wrong way. They had warnings that they should have aborted this mission. They could have saved themselves had they just left this alone. Trying to tie themselves to, it seems like an emotional destiny swap. Trying to tie themselves to you. To disrupt you. That's why they wanted to be around you. So you wouldn't seem like the sensible individual. Appealing. Just one more lick. Emotional imbalance. They couldn't help themselves because they are emotionally imbalanced. They're emotionally distraught. They wanted so bad. They wanted so bad to have you mentally disturbed. They wanted so bad to disrupt your emotional space. They wanted so bad to invade and take advantage of your emotions. They couldn't stop. It was like an addiction. Just one more lick. It was like an addiction. They were addicted to trying to make you seem unaligned. They were addicted to trying to make you seem emotionally unstable. Wow. That's crazy. How do you become addicted to trying to make somebody else seem emotionally unstable? Because if they're addicted to making you seem emotionally unstable, doesn't that show that they're the addict, so to speak? Doesn't that show that they're the one that's emotionally unstable? Because they spent all of this time trying to access you to make you seem emotionally imbalanced. This reminds me of Martin when Pam had the crazy cousin Tammy and she escaped from the ward and they took Pam. Somebody was trying to tie themselves to your identity. And they are bound to the truth. They are bound to the proof of this because people know. They were addicted to doing this. STI. Hepatitis, pelvic inflammatory disease, trichomoniasis, bacterial, chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, HPV, house in Virginia. So not only did they try to emotionally disturb you, they wanted people to believe that you were sick. And they tried to hide evidence. They tried to hide evidence that they did that. This was supposed to break you. This was supposed to break you. People know what they did. Personal encounters. People know what they did to try and break you. Because, I mean, of course, if somebody comes up to you and say that, or talking about you and you find out they saying that you got something that you don't, it's natural that you get upset. It's not a bad thing. It's you're emotional about it. And if they telling all of these people, yes, you're going to feel some type of way. Because apparently by telling all of these people, nobody's going to believe you. So they tried to break you down with that. And let me make this clear. Even if you did have something wrong with you, that's nobody's business. Even if you were sick, that's nobody's business. At the end of the day, we only get one life. Now you can spend your entire life in woe is me because of what you have, or you can own it privately, because you don't owe nobody no public access to nothing. You don't owe nobody access to nothing about you. This is your business. You can still live through all of this. And the crazy thing is, this is how they thought. This is how they thought they were going to get you. This is how they thought they were going to gain access to destroying you mentally with this lick. Trying to prove that you're sick. Or with this personal encounter, they thought that they were going to emotionally destroy you by trying to give it to you. You see how they were trying to tie themselves to you? That knot was this sickness. That way you can't let go. They wanted to be emotionally tied to you forever. Just one more lick. By being with you one last time to get you sick. This person has been trying for 7+ years to break you down from an emotional standpoint by trying to lay with you and make themselves seem appealing one last time so they can get you sick. And they tried to hide evidence that they did this. They're trying to hide that they really tried to get a personal encounter with you. And there is proof that they did this. There was proof that they said this. There was proof that they were trying to do this. If they could sleep with you just one more time. They've been dreaming about this. They've been hiding this desire. They knew they should have let this go, but they've been dreaming. They've been dreaming about messing you up. What kind of sick shit is this? These people. So somebody goes out there, they get themselves messed up. And now to stop you, to put a knot in your rope, to rain on your parade, to have you as emotionally broken as they are, they've been dreaming about giving you whatever they have. Just one more lick in reverse. They have been dreaming about giving it to you. Now, they probably had it for 7+ years. And they've probably given it to others. But they needed to give it to you. Damn everybody else they gave it to. They needed to give it to you. That was the only way they would be satisfied. Pictures and ropes. Nature in reverse. This ain't natural. It wouldn't have been no... You know, before I say that, let me pull the rest of this line. Just one more lick and access. Backward. In reverse. Forward. They move forward with this plan. They moved forward with this plan. This is a unnatural obsession that they have had for you for over 7+ years to get you sick. Do you understand? This is an unnatural obsession that they've had for over 7 years to get you sick. Appealing 7 years. Experience. Because they thought you didn't know no better. No, actually, they've done this before. Experience in reverse. Every card that's in reverse, I'm going to turn it up right so you can see what I'm saying. Whoever this person is has experience in doing this to people. They've probably done this to several people. These are all the cards that came out upside down. It's hard for me to hold them, but I'm gonna try. This comes naturally to somebody. They've done this before. There's physical proof. There's evidence that this person has done this just willy-nilly. It comes natural to them to do this kind of stuff to people. It comes natural to them to encounter people knowing that they are sick. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to break it down. I don't color code my cards. When I created these cards, I was just writing. But something about the way these cards were made, it asks a question and it answers it. So this is what we finna do. They move forward with trying to tie somebody to them. But in the past, they have bound people to them. They tried to hide physical evidence of their illness. They tried to hide the personal encounters that they had to contract such illness. And there is proof and personal encounters and physical evidence that this information was hidden from the people that they encountered. It was unnatural how bad this person wanted access to you. But it was nothing but God and your ancestors that made sure they never got it. They should have walked away from this mission, but they couldn't help it. Because something about you was so appealing. They should have walked away from trying to destroy you. Yet, they hid the fact that they were emotionally unstable with their obsession, their sexual obsession with you. They had to have you just one more time. And they've been after you for a long time. And hid the fact that they've been doing this to people for a long time. You weren't their first rodeo. They've done this before. People are bound to this person via sickness and illness. But you, collective, you. Something about you. Something about your chakras being aligned. Something about you being well. You being perfectly balanced. You being in your soul's purpose. They couldn't have that. If they could bind everybody else to them, they could definitely tie you to them. They thought it would be that easy. They thought they were tied enough to you to where they could bind you to them forever. There's a difference between the ropes and the chains. Ropes you can cut. Chains not so much. And they move forward with trying to chain you to them for life with illness. STI, emotional balance. Manufacturing in reverse. They did it on purpose. This whole plan was manufactured. They knew what they had. They knew what they had, and they were coming to give it to you. Simple as that. And they've been trying for a long time. Nature, pictures in reverse, ropes. Grand Canyon. It would have been no big deal to this person. The Grand Canyon is a wonder, you know? A wonder of the world. So them making you sick would have been no big deal. But if they could do this, it would just be a part of what they normally do. It would have been some everyday stuff. Backward, just one more lick in reverse, access. Pineapple party. They thought they were going to convince you to move forward with them through sexual activity so that way they could gain access to you. They thought they were going to be able to persuade you, possibly with drinks or food, putting something in your food. They may have even tried, but you knew. You were warned. You knew this is the kind of type of time they were on. You knew this is the kind of type of time they were on. Experience in reverse, appealing, 7+ years. Tradition under question. They thought nobody would know how long they've been doing this. Five, May. Love, children, balance, guidance. They thought nobody would know how unstable, emotionally unhinged this person was. They thought nobody would speculate. Nobody would know that there's instability here. They thought nobody would know that they really don't have any love for anybody. There's like, this person is unbalanced. Tradition under question. They thought they were so smooth at doing this, nobody would know that that's what they did to you, and it would just look like a natural disaster. It would just look natural. Oh, well, we got together and da-da-da-da-da-da, and they gave me something. And they were going to get pictures. They were going to have a lot of proof of your physical encounter with them to tie you to this. And hide the fact that they've been trying to do this to you for 7+ years, and they've done it to others. Sick. Manufacturing, STI, emotional balance. They wanted to do this to you because they felt like you deserved it. Can you believe that? They wanted to do this to you They wanted to do this to you because they felt like you deserved to be sick. You deserve to be ill. You deserve to have what they have. That way people wouldn't find you so appealing and emotionally balanced. So people wouldn't see that your chakras are aligned, that you're at peace. This person wanted to make you sick, collective, because people liked you and you were at peace with yourself. Wow. Last row. Grand Canyon in reverse, nature in reverse, pictures in reverse, ropes. 3 years. They've been doing this for 7+ years, but they've been after you for the last 3. See, this is how they tied people to them in the past, by making them sick. But you have been a special project. And they tried to hide the evidence that they have been after you to get you sick for the last 3 years. They tried to hide the proof that they tried to personally come towards you. They tried to hide physical evidence of this illness. They tried to hide all proof that they really wanted you sick. Because you did not deserve to be well. You did not deserve to be well. If they're not well, how could you be? You don't deserve to be well. They've been doing this to people. They've been taking their you can't feel bad. It's almost like you can't feel bad for somebody that goes around spreading things like this on purpose. And I don't feel bad. But I pity this person. Instead of trying to help themselves and realizing that they can still live life and be better, they want to make other people suffer because they're suffering. Nah, fuck that. You didn't deserve anything that they were trying to conjure up, but they felt you did, and they felt they was gonna get you. They really did. They've been doing this for so long. They were very much experienced behind the scenes because they're a good-looking person. They're an appealing person. That's how they get people, and there's proof of this. Pineapple Party, backwards and reverse. Just one more link in reverse access. Gemini. Third house, communication. 3 years. Somebody knows. There's evidence. There's evidence. Let me put it in order as the cards come out. I told you I never color-coded these cards. I just wrote them as I wrote them. But they answer their own questions. They answer their own questions. They tried to hide evidence of the last 3 years that this is what they were doing, and it's being communicated. People are starting to think. People are starting to wonder, what does this card say in reverse? Tradition under question. People are questioning this person. They know. And if they don't know, they're about to. Gemini, I think. People are starting to think. People are looking back. People are starting to look back at the moves that this person was making to gain access to you, to gain access to others. Maybe people that they have gotten sick, they're starting to kind of take a step back. Take a step back. Find balance in all areas of your life. Reevaluate your priorities. People are now stepping back and realizing this person did it on purpose. There was an unnatural obsession with making people sick. And they've been doing it for a long, long time. And they knew how to do it. They knew how to do it. There was an unnatural obsession with making others sick, and they got plenty of experience doing this. They preyed on people who were inexperienced, but saw them as appealing, and now people are questioning. They're really taking a step back and reevaluating, revisiting fears and unresolved issues. Pluto retrograde. Detox and release. Examine power struggles emotionally. Emotionally. Forced to face reality. Neptune retrograde. People are really having to take a step back and really see how this person did this to them. People are really taking a step back and seeing that it was no big deal for this person to come at them like this. Almost like they enjoyed doing it. Somebody could be writing about this or speaking on it. Somebody could have possibly paid to hide this information. Sales, hide the evidence of this. Maybe changing up records. Somebody could have been teaching somebody how to do this. How to seem more appealing. Somebody could have been teaching somebody how to do this to seem more appealing to somebody so they can make them sick. And now that tradition is under question. Five in reverse, appealing, access. Nemophilus, someone who loves forests, woods, or woodland scenery. Nature in reverse. Somebody could have tried to make something seem so natural, so right. You know, kind of like bring somebody like to a remote area, you know, make them feel comfortable, you know. Scenic drives, possibly doing something in a car. This could have been, you know, an exhibitionist, somebody that likes to do it outdoors. And there could be proof of that. Possibly with somebody over the last 3 years. But it was unnatural. I'm getting unnatural, like rituals or something. Like this person was doing unnatural stuff in natural places. And there's evidence of this. I hate to say it, but like sex magic outdoors. Getting people in open places. Grand Canyon is right after 3 years, right before 3 years. opening people up to them in unnatural ways by making themselves seem appealing, but they have experience of over 7+ years of doing this to people. And I believe that people could be providing evidence that every time they got with this person, it was in an open space. Or they were around something scenic, perhaps in a car. You deserve it in the reverse. Manufacturing in the reverse. S.T.I. Emotional balance. Vanity. Conceit. Worthless. Contempt. Excessive pride and admiration via appearance and achievements. Narcissism. Arrogance. Ostentation. Egoism. Pretension. Imperiousness. They hid who they are to make people vulnerable towards them, to make them seem appealing. Appealing, upright, vanity in reverse. They didn't want people to know that this is the kind of person that they were. Very vain. They wanted to come off like they were sensitive and sweet and kind. Before they go in for the kill shot. The way they communicated with people made this, made this possible. Somebody taught them to do this. Or maybe they learned from the person that did this to them. Maybe they think about the person that got them sick and how smooth they were and how they did it to them. So they started doing it to other people the very same way it got done to them. What's at the bottom? Chakras. This person's chakras is all messed up. This person's chakras is all messed up. That's why they need access to other people. Energy vampire. They are all messed up inside. So if they can get to other people and make people feel like they feel, if they can give people what they have, they feel better about themselves. That brings them peace. To know that if I'm sick, you're sick too. Negotiation. Yeah. Somebody taught them how to do this. Lock and key. This is how they get people to stay bound to them. Because they can use the law, they can use money, they can get health records, they can keep you quiet. Because as experienced as this person is, and they try to hide it, they know how to blackmail somebody. They know what to do. And they paid somebody to hide evidence of who they are and what they do. But this is how you see that lock? You see the lock? You see the key? This is how they bind people to them. And they've negotiated. They've paid people to hide their medical records, to keep things quiet, even in a court of law. But people are talking. Gemini, third house, communication, acknowledgement, expression. People know what's up, and if they don't, they're about to. Why? Because whatever this person was doing and how they were doing it is under question. If at first you don't succeed, they kept trying. They kept trying. They kept trying to get you. It was easy to get everybody else, but it was not easy to get you. And they kept trying. 7+ years trying to gain access to you emotionally. The last 3 years probably trying to get you sick. They felt like if they could emotionally break you down and make you seem appealing, it would just happen naturally. But that ain't the way it went. That's not the way it went down. So they tried to break you down. Use what you got to get what you want. Confirmation. They used what they were taught to try and get to you, and it did not work. You're alive, you're well, you're healthy. Public holiday. They wanted this to be a secret. They were celebrating secretly. They celebrated this before they even got a chance to do it. But every time they did it to somebody, they celebrated. And you were next on the list. They were trying to come up with a way to get you even though you didn't deserve it. And they were going to celebrate. They were secretly celebrating, setting you up, even though you didn't deserve it. Last one. Yield. Now they got to cut the shit. It's over. It's over. Stay away from this person, collective. It's over. You know what's up. You know how far this person was willing to go to destroy your peace in life. You know how far this person was willing to go to unalign your chakras. You know how far this person was willing to go to hurt you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because they are hurt mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Somebody that's broken like this it's one thing when they try to heal themselves, or they try to find solace or peace in whatever was done to them. If they seek help, if they try to find a way to heal, that's one thing. But for somebody to purposely move and act in physical warfare, because that's what this is. This is biological. At least in my mind it is. It's one thing for somebody to go through this and seek help and find a way to live with what has happened to them. But to biologically, physically, and spiritually attack people on purpose, and then have a personal vendetta against somebody that deserves none of this because they're living their best life, ain't no mercy for this kind of person. And it never will be. Nothing more to say about it.